It's great to see you again, officer. My wife can't wait to thank you. Go on, talk to her.
Oh, sweetie, I don't even know how to thank you for finding my husband and helping him out. I hope we haven't been too much trouble for you. Here, I want to give you a small token of my gratitude. It's a tie, Mexican origin. The pin is an antique, quite special.
The little silvery knob holding the tie together feels warm in your hand. You could ask her about this when you get the time. It's probably a cryptid, but the phasmid, of course, is more.
Oh, you don't want to hear about some old woman's ramblings.
Ramblings? Nonsense. Your description of the phasmid is the most precise I've ever heard.
But darling, I didn't even get the size of it right.
You were a child, my dear. Really. It's extraordinary what you were able to describe.
Reflexively, the lieutenant read his familiar notebook.
Well, it was summer. I was building a racing track out of sand on the beach near a tall stand of reeds. I'm getting ahead of myself. I was 5 and a half in Betancourt in the suburbs. My grandmother had a summer home there.
Betancourt got bombed in the war. It used to be quite near, so...
The strangest moment of my life. I looked up and one of the reeds moved. Not like a plant, but like a living thing.
She had no fear, just surprise.
I didn't know this can happen, so I reached my arm and touched the thing. It felt just like a stalk of reed, I tried, but I was only a child. There was mud and high water. I couldn't see it anymore. I ran back home to my grandmother and asked her if reeds could walk, and told her they were looking at me. For years, it was a story I told at parties when I wanted to impress boys.
We were on a date. Can you imagine? She tells me a story, and it's the most detailed report of the Insulindian phasmid I've ever heard. The sounds. She told me it hissed.
It did, yes. Like reeds in a gust of wind.
The way it moved, the colour, how some of its limbs were white, like mine. If it weren't for Lena, I might have given up hope years ago. It's no exaggeration to say that she restored my faith in my profession.
Our first, yes.
The glance is tender, yes, but tempered by something else. A thought she can't express, even to him. Interesting.
Not all of them. There is some white coloration reported, along with beige, where the camouflage ends.
It's hard to say how big things are when you're quite small yourself.
How could she? Who imagines this? She didn't know about the phasmid.
So she couldn't have made it up, or imagined it.
That's true, yes. I'm almost certain neither my mother nor my grandmother knew of it. It was only when I started telling my story as a teenager that boys would tell me, "Lena, you trying to tell us you saw the Insulindian phasmid out there in those reeds? Get out of here." They just give me a cider and ruffle my hair and tell me to stop dreaming. But I saw it.
I thought it was a wonderful story, ma'am.
You're welcome, sweetie. I do appreciate the chance to relive it whenever I get one.
Ha ha! Nothing like the gratitude of a good woman. Now then, what can I do for you?
He tries to play it cool, remain professorial, but inside, this man is itching for some news on those traps.
Good. Okay. And? Completely empty?
Surprise, tempered with fear and trepidation. He doesn't know what to think yet. Maybe you're joking?
No locusts? No phasmid either?
That's not ideal, but I definitely left that one stocked.
Right from the campsite? Just means the Insulindian phasmid is even more clever than we thought.
She's engaging in a well-known self-deception called motivated reasoning.
Of course, more clever.
Yes, the Phantasmadeia picked off the locusts and escaped. This is good news, though we'll have to reconsider the design of the traps.
Another trip to the reeds.
I appreciate your concern, officer, but please leave this to the experts. Unless you have an alternative hypothesis you'd like to venture.
You're jabbing at the soft underbelly of his psyche. He realizes he's gotten defensive.
Actually, no. Excuse me for getting emotional. This is a big deal for us. You've helped us twice now, and brought some great news too.
Some kind of foul play might be afoot. Theft?
Thank you, it's an honor. We should probably return to our main investigation here. This has been refreshing, but...
Damn it, Lieutenant. Have you no intellectual curiosity? Consider the way the empty trap was disturbed, as though shaken. Most likely the hands of a young person. Hands small enough to fit inside the trap, too. You should ask the red-headed boy, Kuno.
A little hooligan. But what would a child want with bags?
Oh, my dear Morel, you've been an old man for too long. Kids love to torment insects almost as much as they love to torment old folks.
Delinquents, my favorite.
Oh, you've been such a dear to us. Please, let us know whatever you turn up. I have a feeling we're getting so close.
Well, I see you've got all the help you need. I'll see you tonight at my place. Let's play suzerainty, but no more field trips for me.
After this is your last chance to talk to Gary.
Really, Gary? We're getting somewhere here. I'd love to play suzerainty, but...
Lena, I'm sorry, but you're not getting anywhere. It was some kids. I know the little mutants around here. Leave anything out in the open and they'll steal it. Morel, it's been fun. Really. But I need a bath and I have deliveries to handle. When this tea is done, I gotta run.
No need to apologize, Geary.
He keeps the language unemotional, but it's in there. Disappointment.
Fuck, does Kuno care? No, Kuno doesn't give a fuck about bugs.
So he knows locusts are bugs.
Oh my god, I told you that shit is lame!
Shut up, see.
Now they're gonna take you to lame prison! Deny everything, Kuno.
Kuno's not gonna say anything without his lawyer present.
Lame. That rings some bells. Could this be connected to Night City? Yeah, that's pretty lame. Sounds like art.
Oh god, Kuno, no! It's gonna happen now. They're gonna make you lame.
Stop it, see. No one's gonna make anyone lame. Kuno's got this under control.
There's definitely something going on here. You should check out Kuno's shack, the one with the pig's head.
Kuno doesn't fucking care.
The door is closed.
Who is it?
Tired. Control.
This is the police. Can we come in?
Come on up. The door is open.
Sounds like it's coming from upstairs some. This medicine cabinet is full of wares. Sheets of pills, haphazardly stacked one on top of the other. It's been used quite a lot. Pharmaceuticals line the shelves. Sheet upon sheet of pill bottle next to pill bottle. Acetylic acid, APAP,
Anything of note?
Pill bottles rattle like bones as you search the cabinet. Paracetamol, histoparidol, something in a foreign language you can't read. Nacra, this is used to treat opioid overdoses. Always handy to have around.
Interesting. That's used for diamorphine overdoses.
You could say he's on the lookout. Among some foreign, probably Messinian or Gotwaldian, marked red blister packs you find. What do you find? This is going to a bright orange bottle with peptide stamped on it. In sunny, happy letters. Jackpot, baby. That's the stuff you're looking for. Your palms begin to sweat just holding that little plastic container. Silently, the bottle slides into your palm. Then, as you turn, into your pocket. Feels so sleek and beautiful. You got it. Here comes the afterburner. Time to become a super detective again, Harry. Just put it in your sweaty little hand now. Now that you've acquired some stimulants, it's time for a little pick-me-up. Time to detect. It'll make you into more than that. See? That's your problem. A lack of confidence. Speed can help you with that. And, Kim, it's not ideal. This is so unprofessional of you.
You've passed up your chance to start using speed for now, but don't worry.
Just as you look at the flowers, a gust of wind raises them from the roof, picking them up in the air. You catch a single white flower between your fingers. The rest fly off into the wind. The young woman looks at the Maybell in your hand. Just a glance, then takes a drag of her cigarette. The lieutenant gives you an acknowledging little nod. Your 9mm semi-automatic finger pistols produce a satisfying snap. Strange for such a low-caliber finger gun to... That's not entirely true. The lieutenant is looking at the door to...
Welcome to the roof.
Her hair is still slick from the shower. Below her silvery jumpsuit, an athletic young body, built long and lean.
I'm sorry for the mess down there. The cleaning lady hasn't come by in days. I'm beginning to wonder if she ever will. Oh yes, legends of room number 1 have made their way around the building. They say a portal to hell has opened in there. They also say that's why the cleaning lady quit. Because of the infernum.
I'm Kim Kitsuragi. I'm a detective from Precinct 57. I believe you have already met my colleague from Precinct 41.
Have I ever? This is the biggest fan of ostentatious orchestrations I have seen in my life. And I have seen a few. Oh yeah. Life gets hard, but we go on.
The chorus of the 35 single, megaphoning the entire human race. instills you with the fuck-it-all swagger that prompts one to plow into grannies on your morning stroll.
I can see that. I'm glad all this onward going has brought you to me.
Miss, we are investigating the murder of the man down there. The people who put him there have asked us to talk to you.
Huh. I see.
What could she be thinking of? It's hard to say. Her shoulders are relaxed. It's like she's disappointed this wasn't about more entertaining matters.
Clausier Amandu.
Same name that Titus gave you. It sounds Oranese, as her birthmarks also signal Oranje. You don't know why, but Oranese girls tend to come speckled with them.
Right, sir. Vredefort, Republic of Oranje. I guess you could say I am an Oranese expatriate.
Wasn't the tattoo on the hanged man an Oranese map of the waterways? The thought begins to form in your head.
A bad memory, officer.
The Republic of Oranje is a democratic nation on the Muindi Isola, north of here, over the sea and across the Pale. It is one of the 6 major Occidental nations to hold stake in the continued occupation of Revachol, the coalition. They will make you into a fiscal colony, divert your natural resources, hold patents and shares, but they won't threaten to wipe you out anytime, like Revachol did in its prime.
It's the past. People can't go back to the past.
Thankfully, it's implied.
I'm 28. Something stupid. Oranese lit. Oranese literature. It's what I studied at the university. Fear of failure, fear of death, how it sucks to be Oranese. All national literatures are... Only the name of the nation changes.
What about Revacholian literature? People sometimes reveal things about themselves when they discuss such matters.
No. Revacholian lit is about how magnificent and serious Revachol is. It's about how you have to save the world. Strange. Usually the Revacholian hero does not save women. It's a frivolous pursuit. He saves all of mankind instead.
She seems quite relaxed for a victim of assault. But, of course, what seems should not be your priority.
Nothing. I do nothing with it. Cool. I've made more money by just being than I have with Oranese lit. Many things. A roller skating instructor, a secretary.
Miss Oranje, now there is something you should linger on.
It's a beauty pageant, held in the year of our century 37, in Oranje.
She was 14 at the time.
Indeed.
Her voice is indifferent to the number.
Full disclosure, I was Miss Teen Oranje 37. The pageant was discontinued recently.
Another innocent tradition bulldozed by the march of ethical progress.
I'm afraid you can't, officer.
Why is that?
Because it's buried in a sealed plastic bag at an undisclosed location on the coast, along with cash and airline tickets.
Thank you for your candor. Why?
They say so in your tourist brochure. Keep travel documents away from your person when west of the river. If I were to lie to you, I would come up with a more mainstream name than Clausier Mondu. It's a weird name.
She seems to be telling the truth, sire.
Okie dokie.
If any of this made her nervous, it certainly doesn't show in her expression or her movements.
The record. So official.
She looks at the dried petals in your palm, then lightly touches one with her fingernail. Chipped white polish covers the nail. It's long and sharp, like a mini dagger.
Pretty. Looks like a dried maybell. Is that the one you caught? Sambo style? A martial art, sir.
Samurai boxing, or sambo, graceful martial arts stuff. Sambo style implies stealth and cool.
Why was there a flower on the roof? I don't know, officer. Because of the wind? Yeah, it's pretty deluxe. I'm wintering.
How long have you been staying here?
About 4 months. I came in November. Here in the Whirling, here in Martinez, or here in Revachol. I always wanted to see the only city in the world in the worst time of the year. It's a tourist thing.
This is by far not the only reason she's here, and she isn't really hiding it either.
Thank you. I've put a lot of time and effort into it.
Technically, possession of narcotics is legal in Revachol, but you should still reprimand her.
With money, sir. It's not exactly the anti-star size caboodle I intend for it to be one day, but it's getting there.
The anti-star is, or was, a Vespertine rock and roll star who liked to do drugs. He did so many drugs, he eventually mutated into a corpse.
Comes in handy when you've done too many opioids.
Is that something that happens to you often, miss?
Better safe than sorry. Oh, yes. One of my favorites. Like not being able to stay up for 36 hours, not being happy. It cures those ailments. It's just a merit speed molecule, basically. Very funky. Okay.
Watching herself reflected in the bedroom window, tall and sparkling.
Yeah? All right. It's a bit early in the morning for raped, isn't it? Yeah. I'm gonna go with not raped. I can't say that stuff about him. Tell them it's not my style. They'll have to, if they want to jazz up the charges, they'll have to get someone more, rapeable.
It's all very organic. Her mannerisms, her movements. By they, she means the Hardie boys.
Are you saying that you were asked to tell us you were assaulted?
Not explicitly, but I understood what they meant. It wouldn't hurt to spice things up a bit. Some assault and battery, sexual assault maybe. It was clear the latter would be spicier. Pretty much.
Warming them. She must be very cold and exhausted of this life.
I'm 89% sure. You know how it is.
Do you?
Maybe you don't.
There are numerous cigarette burns on those silvery scales.
In conclusion, officer, I'm gonna go with a mild to medium not raped here.
I'm sorry, miss, but we need a definite statement.
Let me make this 100% clear then, officers. I was not sexually assaulted. Would I be this flippant if I had been? We partied. With all due respect, sir, I think we partied a little harder than that. Oh, it is. You're still alive.
What did you do when you partied?
We drank, sir. A lot. For weeks, basically. We had that effect on each other. We made each other drink harder. That's why I liked him.
What else?
Stimulants. Speed also has that effect, making you drink harder. And then drinking harder makes you do more speed. It's quite the combination. We also had sex.
Whoa, after so much drinking and drugs, how did they manage it?
I guess you can say that, yes, a bit. Lovers is such an emotional word. But there was something there. We did enough drugs for there to be.
How did you two meet?
Downstairs, at the bar. He was on some sort of assignment, a military man, as you probably know.
When was this?
A month ago? Something like that. Oh, yes. I've had a great view. From the roof, out of the bathroom window, in my dreams.
A bitter cringe. It hurts. He takes a small step closer.
You called us, the RCM.
Yes,
Jackpot.
I made it. And I would appreciate it if you didn't tell everyone. In Martinez, they call it snitching.
Reporting crimes is confidential in Ravachol, miss.
I didn't exactly disguise it. I just muffled the mic and nicked the landline a little. With nail clippers. And I diverted some radio fuzz into it. Into the cold wire.
You were right to suspect there might be foul play involved with the broken phone line.
Did I? Fuck. I didn't mean to. I had no idea what I was doing.
Jigsaw falling into place. This is satisfying. Good catch. I appreciate the symmetry. Still, that's pretty clever tampering. Simple and clever. Crossing the lines like that.
Thanks.
She looks a bit like a little girl who's just been complimented on her bike repair skills.
I don't know, sir. It was stupid. I was drunk, too. I was probably afraid the union was listening in.
We're not entirely convinced about that answer, but okay.
Thank you for making the call, miss. It was the right thing to do.
I didn't want to, sir. But if I hadn't, he'd still be hanging there. I'm sorry, I can't do it. Not right now. Later, maybe. I keep seeing him. Like he is now. I can't talk about his, I don't know, hair.
I know it's difficult, miss. We can return to it later.
He had something to do with the strike. One has been roiling since I got here. Rotten timing. But you probably know all about it.
And his role in this strike was what?
I think he was in a security detail. He was ex-military, worked for Wild Pines, and against the Union. We didn't discuss work much, if you know what I mean. But I understood it was dangerous.
And they lynched him for it?
She nods.
They're frequent guests downstairs. They have a booth for Union members. They're probably down there now. Over drinks. It's been a long, boring winter. A little, yeah.
Like you partied with the deceased?
No, not as hard.
I'm sorry to have to ask this, but have you had a physical relationship with any of the Hardie boys?
I have. Which ones, sir? I don't remember precisely. Titus, obviously. But as I said, it's been a long winter.
She breathes a silvery sigh of relief and weariness. The air on the roof feels humid.
Should we head by downstairs, officer? We may have things to discuss there.
She nods. Silvery cigarette fumes disappear into her mouth.
Why not? I'll be here until 11 p.m., drinking coffee, most likely.
As you turn, a bright light catches your eye, making it so cool. From a distant sunset, a stage light, flash photography, nowhere in particular. It's just what superstar law officers do. What are you, deaf? They're perfect. Yeah, you have. You're a big dick cop, Dick Mullen. With a sudden flash, the world freezes around you, and you along with it.
Hello, officer?
She looks back. Don't worry. We will see through this. You are Miss Aranya. The strange moment. And
Hello, officer?
she looks back. Don't worry. We will see. You are at Miss or nothing. Just time. Anything out of the air moves. She pressed her hair, brushes her. The strange moment.
Hello, officer? What?
She looks back. Don't worry. We will. You are Miss Nothing. Anything out of air moves. She presses her hair. The strange moment ends. It was brief.
Not my favorite topic. How about we...
The same small, heavy door. No lock in sight. It's barred. Sounds like it must be something valuable inside to go.
I don't know. It is not the first closed door with... I don't know.
Below, the hostel cafeteria creaks a dull thump.
The vigilantes, the cadaver, and a number of people connected to the case are in or around this building.
The same small, heavy door. No lock in sight. Something cracks inside. It is an unbelievably satisfying sound,
Nice.
filling you with a belief in your own body.
Sounds like the property damage wasn't in vain, at least. Would it hurt to look in? I don't know about that.
You can almost see the shape of a man and a woman writhing inside, bathed in drug sweat and dirty linens. Bottles lie around everywhere.
You can barely see through. Better not to jump to sensationalist conclusions here. The footprints on the floor, however, definitely suspicious.
Boring footprints. I want to jump to sensationalist conclusions. You lean closer to the peephole instinctively. I bet they're doing something quite unnatural. You clearly see footprints in the downy carpet of dust.
Jackpot. These, unlike everything else here, are new. 3 weeks maximum from the dust coverage. It could easily have been 1 week too. This isn't bad at all. It was a good idea to see where that door leads. Commendable work bringing us to this place. It means someone snuck through what seems like a secret route, behind our rape victim's room, in the recent weeks. This may prove to be significant.
Large prints, most likely made by boots. The size is hard to determine. This print is unlike one left by a regular worker boot. It is not a brand sole with logos on it. It seems custom-made or old-fashioned.
The size looks about the same, actually. They're not the same shoe, but they could be the same person. No, these little horizontal lines are different. They look custom-made to me. Or some kind of foreign print. Hard to say. Still a boot, though.
Everything around you is quiet. The prints crisscross the workshop floor. Over there, in the corner, not just any pinball machine, This is the pinnacle of pinball. Lit, a phrase almost synonymous with the Insulindian pinball scene. Any pinball scene, really.
The pinball machine. Gordy's Goats, a classic.
Oh, it's more than just a classic. A must-play. The greats, like Gottwald's Knut Schmeling and Jürgen Sternemann. Mesk pinball legend, Yara Flavia Yan.
A little. Ah, great.
Cornelius Gordy and the Mountain Goats reads the golden lettering on top of the back. Get the game on, Fingerboy. Those flippers are ready. Above the painting of a mustached man climbing. The theme of the game is to explore Gordy's. The peak of the mountain is at areas around the playfield. Indeed, think of them as balls. It takes a while to get into a rhythm, but pretty soon you're able to keep 3 goat-faced balls in play with relative ease. Go, go, Fingerboy.
I feel sorry for the goats. If they only knew the kind of guy old Cornelius really was. The kind of a guy who uses the word savages. An avid huntsman too. He was often photographed in his dining hall, surrounded by wall-mounted hunting trophies from every continent. He also hit his wife and kids, other people's kids too, sometimes pets. Hateful little man. But you seem to be having fun.
Your game is definitely improving. Suddenly, a special passage leading to the summit slides open at the top of the board. Maneuvering a goat ball into a position for a perfect hit isn't easy. Tiny hammer shatters something inside the machine. An ampoule? The words "pale rupture" light up on the speaker panel and the...
Congratulations. This is where the game ends. It's a cheap way of getting more money out of the players. A stupid nihilistic finale.
There's so much fog, you can barely see anything. Some is actually leaking out of the machine, and one by one, this can be navigated. The balls leave almost imperceptible disruptions. Hit the pads as fast as you can. Maximum attack. You're down to your last goat, going mostly by sound. You're in a perfectly balanced system where neither you nor the pal is able to get the upper hand. This could go on forever.
I am. I've seen it before. Played it too. You will eventually make a mistake and then it's all over.
Ow, if you can't even see it. The last goat plummets into the fog with almost suicidal glee. There goes nothing, Fingerboy. You see a heavy steel door with a prominent dimple lock.
There must be a key somewhere. Probably somewhere in the whirling. It's not too important. We can get in and out using the roof door. Looks like we have more to discuss with those so-called Hardie boys. Half their reasoning just went out the window. Nothing will make them respect the RCM, but it will disrupt the game they prepared for us. We just stripped off one layer of whatever it is. Her decision to not corroborate their story was definitely not part of the plan. What else could she have done? Lie? She saw there was no way to lie and get away with it.
You would have caught it.
If not you, then me. It was a smart move from her. You think so? Being candid is the best way to lie. The appearance of candor with some facts thrown in draws attention away from whatever one chooses to omit. She may be trying to control the pace of the investigation. Anyway, we should move. I suspect our inquiries will bring us back here soon enough.
This small elevator is dimly lit. Smells of nougat and sweat. Your head brushes up against the ceiling. There is a control panel to your right. The maintenance card under the control panel. This elevator must have been used to transport pinball machines. There are large rectangular buttons. A small steel plaque reads Halter 800. Halter is a Koningsteiner lift company who went out of business a long time ago.
That it does. I say, let's brave it. At the end of the last century. Look on the bright side. If it fails, we will only sustain minor injuries. I'm talking...
It appears his whole enthusiasm is sarcastic.
Seems so, although it's pretty quaint for a freight elevator.
So this is where they brought 40 pinball machines to fix them up. The lieutenant looks around the dusty, crowded room.
At some point, 20 years ago, 15 maybe? It looks like it. I'm guessing Martinez North 22 used to be a
creek.
Downstairs in the hall, next to the main door.
Remember the dice maker? Then that means...
Ah, yes, as the novelty dice makers said. This has absolutely nothing to do with the case, I'm sure.
But then it went bankrupt. Your skin crawls from making the connection.
If that's true, then our cafeteria manager is not going to like it. We should tell him what we found up here, omitting that suspicion. He does not appear to be the kind of man who likes his establishment to be part of a neighborhood ghost story about bankruptcy.
Stupid superstition. But still, it would be interesting to see what the cafeteria manager thinks of. This window is pristine on the inside, smooth as ice. There are spots of mud and rain on the outside. Following your lead, the lieutenant leans in closer to inspect the surface.
Looks like it, yes.
It's you again. What is it? Fuck! I knew that fucking whore couldn't be trusted.
For the record, Titus Hardie did not explicitly specify the victim as a whore, nor did he say anything about trusting her.
Oh, shut up and stay out of this, Liz. He raped her. He was out of his fucking mind. You have no idea.
She's just in denial, asshole. You don't understand the traumatic experience. She's shutting down, and she doesn't fucking trust you.
Yeah, she's crazy, you know. A crazy bitch. You know the type. She's fucked up.
This is a diversion. Stay on track.
She wasn't raped. The witnesses' statements were very clear.
Lawman, I'm at the end of my goddamn rope with you. I fucking told you not to push her.
His hands become fists.
And you went and pushed her. I am gonna fucking
hit you. Duck.
Titus Hardie. Everard personally sent me to take care of this. If this goes south, we'll all be in the shit. But you, Titus Hardie, are going to be buried. Am I understood?
When she's angry, she emphasizes the S. It gives her voice a strangely hypnotic quality. Her lips barely move as she speaks.
Look, Copper. We know that that fuck was a rapist and a killer. We got him confessing to it on tape. Show it to him, T. What's the harm, right?
Here, jerkwad. Listen to this shit. And then come back and tell me the soldier of the apocalypse was an innocent man.
This is their last play, this tape. Their story is in tatters, a mess. It might be nice to listen to, but at this point, you don't need to.
You don't care about evidence. The fuck are you a cop for, then?
Pigs, T. They don't care about getting the truth. They care about getting convictions. They are fucking keeping a score on their bulletin boards.
I won't be on your bulletin board. If you don't listen to the tape, we got nothing to talk about.
There's a lot of questions. If you ask them now, they'll just keep bringing up the tape. Listen to it, and they'll have nothing to hide behind.
What's on it? We call it the door gun a mega mix. You'll know why. Won't you listen to it?
Now that is intriguing. You had me at door gunner. A door gun is a gun mounted to the door of a transport airship. They have a habit of mowing down civilians. Farmers mostly.
You think we go into this shit deaf and dumb? You RCM aren't the only ones who know how to bug people. There's no university degree for that.
Actually, there are a few. Crypto analyst, radio officer.
Yeah, like you have one. Smart ass.
Bear.
We have machines. We're in logistics. How do you think a harbor works? It's advanced stuff.
Understood? You've listened in on their communications. How long?
Since way before their chief started taking swing lessons.
Things got nice and quiet after that.
It's not advanced. You just hold up in a coop all day, writing down what they say.
Don't put yourself down, Angus. It's important work.
Yeah, man. You're like a radio genius or something. Those notes are some in-depth stuff. Indexes and shit.
I'm sure we can find a tape player.
Where can I listen to this? Why don't you try shoving it up your ass, genius?
Yeah, play it with your ass, cocksucker.
I'm sure we can find a tape player. It's not a problem.
Your room had one. Or maybe it's too broken.
Don't forget your tape, lawman. Compliments of Titus Hardie. You do that. Oh, and keep it. Maybe you'll need a reminder of human ugliness someday. Yeah, you do that, lawman.
The porter reel is just what you needed. The reels attach to the apparatus with a satisfying click. The two push, command set, and the tape starts spinning.
This isn't Revachol. This is a fucking village. I can almost see the elephants.
The harbor. That's the son of a Kvalson crane.
He's right.
When this shit is done, I'm gonna tear that place up. Soldier of the Apocalypse style. Kill shit. Dogs and chickens too. Gonna run a room, Cordy. A real nice one. I don't give a shit. I'm fucking done. I'm done mentally. I'll fucking do them all in. Rape that disco cunt on the counter. You know, the dance a whore upstairs. Do it Kohoi style. Never did get that taste out of my mouth.
The lieutenant presses the button marked Arrête on your porterille. The tape stops spinning.
End of recording. It seemed authentic enough. Probably recorded off the shortwave, then edited to seem more incriminating. He sounded like he was on patrol around the harbor walls. Still, Corty could be short for Cortenard, one of the other mercenaries, the one he was talking to. Probably the mountain at the harbor gates. Mr. Right to Work. Corty could be short for Cortenard, one of the other mercenaries, the one he was talking to. A village on the Samaran Isola, in South Safre. Grad committed war crimes there, the kind of thing he talks about.
The South Safre conflict is an ongoing proxy war between Grad and Safre. It has been hot for 12 years, with the atrocities piling on, mostly committed by the Grad.
Who knows? Maybe the tattoos would have an answer. We would need to know the story of this man's service.
A symbol of soldier of the apocalypse style conduct in a civil environment.
I think we've got a few more questions for class here, don't you? This seems to contradict her testimony, at least to some degree.
Hello, officer?
She puts her coffee cup down with a soft ring as the porcelain meets the metal table.
Did he? I never said he was a good man, or that he had good intentions. Only that he was never bad to me.
She doesn't care. If anything, she sounds amused.
Where did they get this recording exactly?
It's intercepted radio chatter of the deceased, recorded via a de-encryption station. It's authentic enough.
Does he say he's gonna do it Soldier of the Apocalypse style? Yeah. That was practically his pickup line.
A memory surfaces in her tired neocortex. It's not entirely unpleasant.
Did he say whores a lot? Was he pretty much on the verge of doing it Kohoi style? He wasn't actually there. He didn't do a tour, or at least didn't tell me he did. Would have been overkill anyway. He lived his own little Kohoi. It wasn't his everything.
Yes, was he bragging?
Oh no, I'm pretty sure he did all those things. Then integrated them into his idea of normalcy. To keep on living. Until they just sort of turn into his,
She's quite observant about the human character. Trained to observe, even.
Running joke. I was gonna say running joke. And it sounds like you didn't even get the good bits. Lely's punchlines got way, way funkier than that. He was like the Seminoles conflict, the Kohoi massacre, and the 36 famine in Yezut all rolled into one person, then cast in Orani ceramic armor, which he wore in bed and in the shower. We're all scraping up any happiness we can find, officer. Going around with our little scouring sticks. You, your first love, Mr. Kohoi here.
Did he tell you he had actually done any of those things? He and Martinez, I mean?
No. We were too busy laying waste to our own nervous systems to direct any of the fury outward. He seemed happy, I guess.
What kind of man was he? Before you go, ask for details.
Thank you for clearing that up, miss. Whenever you're ready. I'm interested to hear what Titus Hardie has to say now.
She takes a very small sip of her coffee.
Like, for example...
Actually, officer, I didn't know his name. I just called him Lely.
A nickname?
I guess. He came from Lelystad. It's short for that. And it was his army name, apparently.
Lelystad. That's a good start. We have a few questions you can help us with. A few things a field autopsy alone can tend.
The young woman cranes her neck, trying to catch a glimpse of the page the lieutenant passed to you. Everything left to be clarified is in the column on the left.
He was 42.
42? Are you sure? I would have had him above 50.
He had many scars that made him appear older. But no, we even celebrated his birthday like some weeks ago. It was a funny 2 days.
Looks like you were right, officer.
Points aren't good. Have one, you old dog, before we all die.
It isn't. Police work is a cooperative sport.
There is no challenge without competition. There must be an opponent. This is clearly sports for him. Something like archery or darts.
That's too conceptual for me. I just like to get autopsies correct on the first try if possible. Where were we?
He's lying.
In Oranje, officer. It's, I think municipality is the term.
The Lelystad municipality has few boroughs and even fewer cities. It's made of agricultural plots near the border of Gottwald. Executive summary. Oranje? Oranje's map of waterways?
You were almost right, officer. That means his race was occidental, not mondial. I'll update the form.
Yes, we were compatriots.
Did that bring you together?
No, he was too old for that. And from another part of Oranjenrijk. I didn't even understand his accent. What brought us together wasn't Oranje. It was bad habits.
Sex, alcohol, speed, no love for Mother Oranje. But wasn't he a soldier?
No. He left the National Service after they taught him to do what he did on Seminine. He was by no means a stupid man. A people person. A small platoon leader. Certainly not a patriot. There is nothing on Muindi. The old world is dead, and we both knew it. I love Revachol, though.
A column of air encircles her, brushing gently on the metallic silver fabric that covers her shoulders and her long, slender arms.
It didn't love him.
The feeling dissipates. The cold passes. The woman's eyes follow yours to
Blue. Light blue. They were like... Pardon the swearing. I do him an injustice. He wasn't ugly.
He had a combat wound on his chin and mouth?
Yes. Severe. It made him look like half his face was cracking away in some strange smile.
Ah, yes. His hair, if you can remember?
It was light brown, almost blonde. He darkened it with brilliantine, made it oily. Oh, that. Sure, waterways. It was mostly for showing off to chicks, though. How? Imagine him lying in bed. Freakish musculature laid out on the sheets.
Is this Oranje's lit?
He's smoking and drinking, of course. And his chest and shoulders and arms are studded with stars. And the woman goes like, "What was this, baby?" And he says, "That was too hardcore. Don't ask me about that." So she goes, "Okay, but what's this, baby?" And he's like, "Saw some bat shit there. Killed some loincloths." And so it goes. Star after star, port after port, third world country after third world country. Oh yeah. No thank you. I've seen enough of him dead. I can tell you what they meant without looking at them.
Go on.
He was a blue-eyed boy with thick arms, from a small town. He was also poor, and the government of Oranje needed some people killed. He went to Killer Academy in Vredefort. Then he killed some people in the Seminine Islands. And on other islands, too. All of the islands. After this, he came to Revachol and got killed himself. Change of topic, perhaps? It very well could be, yes. What do I mean? I have no idea. I don't even know what you mean. Love did him in? What does that mean? That's not funny, officer.
Her voice is like a slash through the air. Her shoulders tense up.
A moment ago it was love. And no, I don't think the Union is communist. They're not hardcore in that way, is what I'm trying to say.
I think she's just tired. She doesn't know what you meant by that. And can you blame her? The lieutenant blinks. All right, let's see where this is going.
Cool.
There is a sound, something in the reeds, when the wind comes through them, on the inlet, her light brown eyes fix on your. She agrees.
A real rainbow splattering of pharmaceuticals, I bet.
Hear that? Sildenafil. Just like you suspected. It's for maintaining an erection. Uppers are vasoconstrictors, so that feat becomes problematic. Because you're a scientist, of course.
How much does the toxicology report cost the police of Revachol? I can do it for half of that. Save you some money, make some myself.
It's quite expensive, miss. But we'll manage without your help for now. All right.
Coolly, gracefully, she pours herself more coffee. Wait, stop. That man, bloated beyond all recognition, was 42? Below the damage, the weeks of decomposition, all the swollen indignity of mortality. He was 42 years. How old are you? That's where this is going. 45,000 liters of raw alcohol has left its disfigurements. What lies beneath, you wonder? You could ask either one of them.
Huh. How old do I think you are?
She's buying time to formulate the best answer.
I don't know. 40? I was like 9 when OO peaked. That was what, 19 years ago? I liked them when I was 9. You couldn't have liked it when you were 40. Let's say you were 20-something. 25. A good disco age. 25 plus 19 is 44. I'm gonna say you're 44.
Wow.
Yeah. I have a university degree, you know? Absolutely. Age is just a number, man.
Yes, miss, but for him that number is 56.
Wait. This requires scientific measurements. To the laboratorium.
It's you again. What is it? And?
He tenses immediately. Chest tightens, jaw sets, ready for another blow.
That fucking fucker. You're the worst cops in Revachol. I gave you gold on that tape.
That fucker wasn't aimed at you. It was at her.
Fucking fuckity fucker. And what did she say then? That it's fine. People are supposed to be like that.
Yes. In fact, I think she thought it was a little funny.
Funny? No good goddamn psycho whore.
Seems like they wanted to give Klasia a second chance to play along. She still didn't.
Right. All fucking righty then. I guess it's good then.
Please try to control yourself in the presence of visitors, Titus.
This is just perfect. Just fucking perfect. Any thoughts on this, lawman?
Women are crazy. Irrational. That's what you're thinking, right? Also, your fists are itching for a bump.
I asked for your opinion, not a bedtime story. Tell it to your grandma.
But she didn't. She knows she can't lie to us, unlike you.
Fantastic. So now you remember how to do your job. I'm so sick of this piss. We should get something harder in here.
Yeah, guys, we should get a party going tonight.
Why?
Maybe not then.
Success. They admitted to unlawful collaboration to derail the investigation.
Nah, I know her. She's just a girl. In over her head. Yeah, you're right about that. She takes way too many drugs.
Well, it's as they say. You can't do anything with an underdose.
With an overdose, you can at least try to come off it. Take a bath, do breathing exercises, get medical attention as necessary. With an underdose, you're just you. Yeah, underdose isn't an actual word.
Yeah, but I mean, she has an actual drug problem. Not like you. Not like us. I don't think I've ever seen her sober. I already told you. We fucking hanged him.
There's less gusto in his voice now. His men too are growing increasingly silent. They're confused. This is growing over their heads.
Come on, Titus. The stakes are too high here. There will be blood on the street. The tribunal, remember. I know you're tired. Why don't you just...
You know what? I am tired. I'm tired of you, them, and the whore upstairs. Next time you see her, tell her Titus said, "Fuck off!"
This is the petulant rage of someone who's at the end of their wits.
That lying, scamming. We're done. This is over. You understand? Your little investigation is over.
Yeah.
On the floor, beer drips out of the can into a small puddle. No one does anything about it.
What is this quiet funeral shit? All we need is some beers in us. Bartender, 20 beers for the Dock Workers Union.
Why do we make it 40, huh? Why do we make it 100 beers? You're not loud enough.
100 beers? Now we're talking. Hoppity.
The window might be closing. The more beers they get in them, the less cooperative they will be. Convince Titus he's being manipulated. You should know by now. Titus Hardie will never falter, but you know someone who might. Fat Angus, the powerful guy, Mr. All Muscle. The time has come. Put him in the pressure cooker. Just remember, it's about more than Glasia. It's about these men and Martinez, their district, their responsibility. Outside, in the midday sun, ruins. The pavements are cracked and the benches peeling. Newspapers blow in the wind. Huh? He'll get it. Go on.
Got it. Kill you because they don't like you. All because...
Goddamn right. Don't come around if you're not from around.
Fuck you. I'm not from around. That's not why we...
There we go. Don't come to the wild north if you are not white enough.
It wasn't that. It wasn't... We didn't hit him, okay?
That's it. That's the weak one. You flushed him out. Now go in for the...
Officer, you will be next if you don't shut up.
Firearm. A Glass 08 or a 38 caliber pistol. Either is small enough for you to have missed. He's onto you. He knows what you're trying to do. Steel yourself. Push on. Just ignore Theo.
We didn't kill him. We didn't even hang him. He was dead when...
Shut up, Angus!
Fatty! Say one more thing to the cops and I'll...
Dennis, stand down, or I'll beat your head in. Theo, take your hand off the belt. This isn't 31. I've got this under control.
Does he? His closed fist is shaking. It's you who's in control. Let them have their moment.
Angie, where's your goddamn inhaler? You sound like you're dying.
I left it home. I can't get it. I'm too fucked. I'm sorry.
Why are you so fucking fat, Angus? Now it's all pointless. Because of you. You wasted my time. I told you, Titus. I told you just give her up.
Lizzie, your help is no longer needed here. Go tell Everard.
Fine. I'll tell him. After a long walk along the coast.
You're in. He's all yours. Questions? He nods.
You hanged the corpse to cover up the real cause of death. What was it?
We're not sure. Probably a bullet. The wound was difficult to see.
The coroner and his assistant are wrapped in blue. Hands covered in blue gloves. Mouths covered by blue masks. Bodies by blue aprons. The coroner wipes his brow, scalpel still in his hand. Get the light. Shine it in his mouth. He tells his assistant. The coroner squats to better see the light illumines the darkness inside. Well, shit. Can't blame them for missing that. Get the saw, Alan. This just got fun.
'Cause the girls asked us to. They were in some shit.
Girls plural? There's another girl? 2 of them? Take note of this.
Did she kill him?
Cop, I have no idea. The girl says she didn't.
He doesn't think she did. Or at least he hopes she didn't.
Glacier came down. She seemed really out of it. Drugged up, even more than usual. Bug-eyed and gurning, you know? Not in a fun way. It looked like she'd redosed after something went down. I've seen that look before. She was scared. I knew someone had died. I've done this job for 10 years. I've seen it before. It's the politician in the motel room with the dead hooker scenario, only in reverse.
Good analogy, boss.
You don't get to talk yet, Shanky. You're still on the bench. And you keep taking it easy too, Angus.
That's okay with the fat man, still wheezing there. He couldn't speak if he wanted to.
We went upstairs. Sure as day the merc was dead. There was a bullet hole through the window. Fucking dirty sheets and bottles everywhere.
He means they'd been fucking?
Tibbs patched the window. And the corpse. We hanged.
The lieutenant gives a smile only you can see.
Nah, he's my brother. He's in the window replacement business.
Tibbs, that's short for?
Yeah, good man.
Bet their father's name, Atticus Hardie. Lucretia Hardie would be their sister. Anyway.
You may have noticed our girl's in some shit of her own. They can't show up on police radar kind. There are people after her from the old world. They're powerful, connected to the Morlintern. She's clearly afraid for her life. Says if she showed up in your systems, she'd be ghosted away.
That's all he knows. That's all she's told him.
And why would you help someone like that? By taking on a murder?
Why would I? I guess we abide all sorts of runaways and losers here. It's a Martinez thing. Not yet. Just some ideas. She says the shot came from outside, behind the window somewhere. So that's a clue. I'm thinking someone's past caught up with them. Either hers or his.
Hers, you mean?
I mean the people after Klausya. Maybe the shot missed. Maybe it was meant for her.
I like that. Been thinking the same thing myself.
My dude. One of those mercenary buddies of his could have done it. They got guns, training, years of bad blood, probably. Or it could have been someone else from Crenell. Tell you what I'd do. Check out the coast for vantage points. Maybe consult with a ballistics buddy of mine. That's what I'd do. If I wasn't too busy doing this clown dance with you.
He's calm now. Threw all that turmoil away and became himself again. These theories, not bad. Don't buy either one, but still, this guy's not as dumb as he looks.
Me too. In a manner of speaking.
Remember the two girls? He may be talking about the other one.
That's right. It was her idea to hang him. I liked it for political reasons. It sent a good message. Fella, you think too much. He's off all right. You're gonna hurt your head. That woman is just affiliated with the Hardie boys. You don't know her, anyway. Nope. You're not getting to her. It's Klausya you want to talk to. You do that. Hey, cop. Before you go...
Suddenly, the wind picks up outside. You hear it rattling the large windows in their frames.
She, Klausya, came to Martinez to hide. Many of us did. This is where you wash up when there's nowhere left to go. The Union takes you in. Now, she refused that protection. But, that's right. If we didn't take care of the people who end up here, this place would just be a couple of ruins and some cargo containers.
We'll take that into account.
This window is pristine. This window.
Looks like it, yes.
Smooth following.
It's always good to see you.
Something in her demeanor has changed. She's tired, consigned to her fate, to being here with you and what's to come.
I understand.
Just like that. No resistance. Her shoulders are slouched, her feet long and straight.
I'm sorry for wasting your time. I should have known that you'd find out.
This is good. Clear the air first, between you two. Then move on to questions. Is it? Something is off here. Shush, I can't hear what she's saying. Let the miss speak. She's tall and thin and tired. A twig trying so hard not to break.
Why did you waste our time then?
Because of the Hardies. I couldn't just dispense with them. They were only trying to help me out of the shit I'd gotten into. You're right. There's more. You answer to the coalition government, and by extension, the moral intern.
Briefly glancing over her shoulder to the sea, as she's done time and time again. A grand expanse of water reaches over the bay and to the horizon. The Pearl, the Muindi Isola, the Occident, and then Oranje, the old, old world.
You share a database with them. You send people to their courts. Just business, but bad business for some people in the moral intern. If I show up in your records, officer, they will find me. They will...
What happens if they do?
They will kill me, sir. If you file my name, take me in for questioning, enter me into the moral intern mill, well, then I'm fucked. For nothing. This murder didn't have anything to do with me.
Fucked? People after her? Moral intern people? This isn't Oranese lit. Nothing to do with her? You'll be the judge of that. Actually, this murder did have a little to do with her.
I did. I also had a side job selling insurance that I was really good at. Got picked up by a bank. Competitive intelligence, they called it. After that, I sort of, transitioned out of the whole culture scene. It's not nice, but it's not illegal. Not here in Revachol, or even in Oranje.
What exactly did you do?
Industrial espionage. I joined a business collective with the intention of betraying them. I did my job well enough to be asked to do it again. With a bigger company. The kind you really, really don't fuck with. I took their ledgers, 2 decades worth of accounting.
I need the names of the companies involved and who hired you.
The job was Lou's-Douin County Savings Bank. They sound small, but they're part of the Lou Scott conglomerate. That was the second job. The first was some printer company. You wouldn't know them. As to who hired me for the job, I don't know. But they're after me too.
Laws cap. These people engineer financial disasters in second world countries. The conglomerate also includes the Bank of Consecration.
Yeah. Papa fucking Lolo wants to kill me. It is. Many people lost their jobs. Not just C-suite. Ordinary people. What I did to get to accounting, a lot of people got hurt. But that's just more of my shit you shouldn't have to deal with. You're solving a murder. We were there. Together. In bed, okay? He was in a kneeling position. He had just entered me. I was on my back, looking at him. I heard the window behind me shatter, and I turned to look. There was a hole in the glass. I turned back to him. His eyes were looking through me, and his mouth was open. Dumb. I could see. I could...
A great pain moves through her. A dark and indefinite wave.
I knew he was dead. Before he fell down on top of me. No, I want to. Let's get this done.
It's okay. Tell us as much as you're comfortable with.
He was heavy. I pushed him off and he fell to the floor. There. He only had his boots on. I bit the pillow, not to scream, then ran downstairs. I waited for the second shot to come. For me. I thought there would be one. It never came.
She's forgotten about her cigarette. The butt has burned right down to her fingernails.
Oh. So am I.
What time was this? When did it happen? It would help us if you could be as precise as possible.
11:30 to 12:15. I don't know the exact time. Around midnight.
It's okay. Were you inebriated?
Not as much as usual. He'd done a line, plus other things. I was drinking.
Wait. Titus said she was gurning her jaw off, much more than usual.
Oh, yeah. I did one of his lines, just to clear my head.
Good thinking. Clear your head. You should clear your head. Get into his mindset.
Did you hear or see the shooter in the course of this?
No. Nothing. I was trapped. I was stuck in my room downstairs. I got some clothes on and crawled back up, drew the blinds. Blood was coming from his mouth. Not a lot. Just a little. He was still on the floor, slouched. I couldn't be there with him anymore. So I ran down and out of my room, into the hallway, down the stairs. I knew there would be people there. Sylvie was tending the bar. A lot of people were there. The Hardies were at the table in front of the stage. I think the Union box was full. Ruby was there too. They were having such a good time. I sat down and they all welcomed me. I didn't even have to say anything. Ruby knew something was wrong.
Ruby?
Ruby. You know, the leader.
The leader? Of what?
The Hardie Boys. Well, nominally, yes. Ruby's the one they go to when things happen, like things they need taken care of. She's the organizer.
This Ruby, in her phrasing, is entrusted with great power. She trusts her. So do the others.
Would you say she is the 8th Hardie boy?
Why not? Well, Ruby said let's talk upstairs. I showed her the room. I've known these people since December. They know my situation, that I can't leave a paper trail. Ruby was the first one I told. She said she'd take care of this. It's what she does, you know, take care of things. I helped her get the body to the bathroom. We used a belt to pull him up under the shower, to keep him upright.
To mislead you, they were tampering with the body.
To produce lividity, matching a hanging?
Yes.
We completely missed the tampering. Looks like you got there in time. What was this, 20 minutes after death?
About 20, yes. Ruby explained it would make the blood... You know what he does. Ruby went outside to talk to Titus and the boys. I was just looking at Lely in the bathroom. I had to put his clothes back on. His armor, too. It was tough, but I've seen him take it off and put it on many times. It took Ruby maybe half an hour to come back with Titus. I'd gotten him ready by then. They carried him out. I knew what they were going to do. Make it look like a hanging. Ruby said they would. Ruby said to wait here. She also said I wouldn't see her for a while. That we should lay low or something. So I did. I don't know. I haven't seen her since.
We will need to take this question to the Hardie boys.
Interesting. Why did this Ruby go through so much trouble to hide something someone else did? Look into this later. There is something suspicious about that theory, but you can't put your finger on it.
When he was shot? I may have. I don't know. I couldn't hear anything over the glass exploding.
The gunshot wasn't that loud. This is something to keep in mind when assessing the distance of the shot.
That's the first thing that went through my head when I heard the glass break. I thought they'd found me. They've killed him to punish me. All last week, I've tried not to talk to anyone or be seen with anyone so they wouldn't be hurt. I've come to understand, however, This is paranoia. What happened didn't have anything to do with me.
We can't go after Loose Cap. Not yet. There are other, saner leads.
I don't ask you to, Lieutenant. If there's one thing I know, it's that you'll get nothing from there. Because I'm an idiot.
Which is an indicator of truth, idiot. She's nothing of the sort.
You have to understand, the people around here, no one was making the call, and he kept rotting. And then they picked his clothes off, and that little fucker threw stones at him.
Her jaw is clenched. Her throat moves. It takes all her strength not to cave in and sob. Once. Just one time.
He kept throwing stones at him for 3 days. I could hear the thud. Thud. So I called you. I hope with all my heart it's not the last thing I do in Ravishol.
She definitely called the cops. That was task complete. It could not have been a lie. That is impossible.
Last week, Angus and Titus's brother, I think he's called Tibbs, took care of it.
You should have another look at that window after this. Reconstruct the scene. It's right there. Yes, you see the glass sparkling out of the corner of your eye. She nods, silently. She doesn't even smoke. Just picks up the cold coffee and holds it in her hands. He's thinking, are we done here? Or maybe you should take her to the station for safekeeping. She lied to you, and she's a flight risk. No, that won't be necessary. Just leave her alone. She's been through enough. She doesn't need this police brutality. Multiface, I'm beginning to doubt your judgment. Are you sure you're not sleeping on the post? You have to wake this one up, with force, if you want to continue pushing her. Who? What? Dear God, you've been lied to. She could have killed her lover, and she probably didn't give you her real name either. Why would she? Arrest her immediately, before she further entangles you in her web of lies. She slowly lights another cigarette and steadies her breath. You are. This is not the end of this. This window is pristine on the inside, unlike the one next to it. Light from the desk lamp reflects off the glass. In an untarnished golden light melts away into the blue, glassy darkness of your mind. In it are two neon-lit shapes, a man and a woman on the single bed. A two-hearted spider. Like the witness said, the man is kneeling, the woman is on her back. It's the night of March 4th and a shot has just been fired. The man looks directly at the woman. The shot's possible directions converge in his mouth. A ray cast from somewhere outside, entering his brain, ending him. From the roof outside, location A prime. The glass fractures around the bullet hole. Shards face inwards like a corona behind the woman's back. The man does not know the bullet has entered his brain. He never will. Death comes faster than the realization. The ray cast from the man's mouth unravels into a fan of possible directions, all on the roof at first. The shot could have come from any of them. This is composite location A prime, most likely of the origin points. There could have been. Then the rain and slush and wind washed it away. This was more than a week ago. 72%, with a weapon that's good for medium range, like a rifle or sports pistol. This is a good short distance, but not too short. The perpetrator aimed with their back against the railing, or possibly kneeling for precision. This would explain why it only took them one shot. The lights were on in here. Outside it was dark. It was like shooting fish in an aquarium, a well-lit aquarium. The victim opened his mouth to let the bullet in. Neither of them would have seen anything outside in the darkness, too busy with their own bodies. Point X would contradict the woman's testimony, rendering the entire proposition void. These figures would be wiped out, detective. None that you've found thus far, but that doesn't mean there aren't any. That's a 28%, yes. In this model, the shot could have come from a greater distance. Nothing excludes the possibility. Should we extrapolate to include every possible point of origin in Martinez? According to your map of the district, this shot could have come from a wide angle of locations, starting with the northern edge of the abandoned boardwalk, ending with an islet in the bay. Let's call them B prime. B prime for boardwalk, B double prime for Land's End, and B triple prime for the islet, detective. There may be smaller points in between, but those are too fine to zoom in on. 700 meters away, the likeliest of these B positions, 20% chance. A skilled sniper could have made the shot, provided he had a safe sniper's nest. Even with the light on inside, we're talking military training. At that distance, the perpetrator would have had to take wind direction into account. 1.2 kilometers away, the least likely of these positions, let's say 3%. A truly skilled sniper could have done it, possibly from a tent. No, too far-fetched. 1 kilometer away, a point beyond the docks, on an islet in the bay. The fort is ruined, but the perpetrator may have found a stable spot on the beaches surrounding it, where the concrete crumbles into the sea. As you saw in the coin-operated viewer, the shot would have been a small miracle, 5% likelihood. There is an extremely narrow field of view from the bay to the window, between Rue de Saint-Ghislain 10 and 33A. The angle would have been extreme, and access to the islets is questionable.
From where, precisely? I see you have given this a lot of thought. Are those the locations you've singled out in addition to the roof? And what is the likelihood, in your opinion, that it came from a further distance? Okay, well, we should see if there is gunshot residue or sniper nests if we go down the coast. Rule these spots out one by one. It would be the diligent thing to do. Until then, personally, I'm going with the roof version. It fits the hidden path through the whirling. A simple hypothesis.
Again? I can't believe this shit. Again? I can't believe...
There's something that... Yes, of course, you...
Again? I can't believe...
There's something that binds you.
Again? I can't...
There's some...
Again? I can't...
You know what it is. It's like the two of you know each other.
Oh, I definitely know you from somewhere.
Another life.
Yes, from another life. A different life. Maybe the life of a police officer belonging to the rank. To what station do you think you would belong in this alternate and totally fictional reality? Okay, that's plausible. That's entirely plausible. Now we're really getting somewhere. Somewhere good. Okay. Let's be crazy. Let's say you and I are partners. How's that for a thought experiment? I'm sure he's fucking flattered. But Kim is not part of this thought experiment. In this one, we're partners.
The lieutenant is silent.
No, because in this thought experiment, we're all police officers. In a police station, we don't do crimes. We're not crime bros.
Come on, stop it.
Oh, no. You see, I enjoy watching other better cops solve crimes. And let me tell you, it's been quite a privilege seeing you work.
This isn't helping.
You're not going to believe this, but police officers. Yes, sir. Solving crimes, locking up bad guys, and get this, and not getting that drink on at 2 o'clock. Just some regular boring motherfuckers in suits and uniforms. Nothing spectacularly extravagant like you, the far-out son of Lang. Oh, it's you eccentric genius. I mean, with your unorthodox approach to police work, it has to be you. Not even a little bit.
It's an urban myth about an officer who is so far undercover he can't remember who he is. As I said, just an urban myth. You are not the son of Lang.
He's trying to protect you from further rough handling, dished out by this sunglassed man. Okay, yes, you get the joke. Leave it at that.
Neither can I, partner. Neither can I.
It's a mere second, but it feels like you saw something. A gram of compassion in that sadness. Okay, the man with the sunglasses and his hypothetical Station 41. Weird, right? There's something missing here. Something you can't put our finger on. You know what? Just ask him. I know it sounds crazy, and you'll probably get laughed at. But still, yes, just cross it off the list. It's probably not true, though.
Again? I can't believe this shit. I'm going to say no. Just to see what you'll say to that. What'd you say? Okay?
Jean, he said okay. Give it a rest.
Okay, I was clearly wrong. He is a firefighter, male nurse, animal control agent, something of that kind. Not a cop. Go on with your cop work. Don't let me stop you again.
Yes? What is it? That was pretty good, Harry. Wasn't it, Jean?
Whoa, how does she know your name? She probably heard it from somewhere. You have to be more careful, karaoke star. Names are dangerous.
That was... Yeah, that was absolute shit, if you want my opinion. Drunken shit. Haven't wanted anything to end this badly since I had cluster headaches. Horrible. Truly horrible. I beg of you, don't ever subject anyone to this torture again. I mean, seriously, you need to...
Jean, he's not right. Don't make it worse. And I really liked it.
She actually did.
God damn it, you leave her alone. Keep your weird bullshit to yourself and be professional for once, for fuck's sake.
Can I actually help you with something?
Yes, of course. Preposterous. I mean, you would remember if they were, right?
Yes, I called you by your name. God, everybody knows your name. Please go finish your investigation so everyone can go home.
It's you again. What is it? Why? You're cuckoo, cop. I'm the only man responsible for this unit. Get with it, or fuck off.
How many times must I tell you?
Yeah, fuck off!
Sounds like you're making her a suspect in this. Not on my watch, you're not. Ruby's one of us. We're not gonna throw her under your moral intern steamroller. Fuck that shit.
And fuck you too, moral
Ruby is missing. If you hide from the police in a murder investigation, you become a suspect. You know how it works, guys.
That's nothing. That's just legalese. You don't even have a sound theory. I don't want to be rude, but we're trying to get some R&R here.
I think we'll keep sticking around, Titus. You'll be surprised at how quickly a theory presents itself if you keep looking.
A sudden flash of lightning in your neocortex. The hostel cafeteria is lit by its airy blaze. Floor plans, bullet trajectories, webs of human emotion, all channeled into a single thought.
Because she was here, all night, with us.
He's cobbling together shit so he can put her away. It's Cop 101.
She was here all night? 11:30 to 12:15? She was here during all that time?
Yeah, with us, drinking, near the stage there.
No.
That's a lie.
All right, she took a fucking leak, okay? For one moment. Maybe went out too. She has an operation to run from her lorry. We're not getting into what that operation is again, Cop. And just 'cause she was gone for 5 minutes doesn't mean she magically got to the roof and shot him. I've been through this. It's not plausible.
He's been through it. That means he suspected her too. All right, we're in. We got Ruby unaccounted for sometime during the window. This was crucial. Now let's...
Why not? You can't draw a straight line into Clausia's window from any of the surrounding buildings. Not maybe from the coast. But like I said, I've been too busy dealing with you idiots. So no, I don't think it was a sniper. It was close up. 72%. There's a percentage and all. Where'd you get it from? Your guys in the lab?
Definitely lie. The truth is not credible.
No, you can't. I know what you did here on the weekend. People talk. And what they say doesn't sound like a science cop. You're a madman.
Those numbers were an asshole, man.
Yeah, and they don't put her on the roof either. It's just mambo jumbo. He hasn't got shit.
Oh. People say there was a pinball arcade here, sometime before the hostel. What was it called, Theo?
East Delta Pinball Arcade. Weird place. Went bankrupt.
Okay, but how'd you get up? There's no room for a staircase in this building.
The elevator is outside the building. It's an old dumbwaiter used for moving pinball machines up and down from the workshop. Ruby could have gone up, shot him, come down, all under 7 minutes.
That's quite the theory. We need to have a look at that secret passage, boys.
I'm on it, boss. Right when the law clears, me and Angus are going up there.
It's a dumbwaiter, not an industrial lift. How about I go instead of...
Just now. You got something else to back this route up? Or is that it? Right. What the fuck does that got to do with Ruby?
Wow, man, can we? I mean...
That'd be awesome. I beat that royalist machine 20 times now.
All right. We can get the barman to bring them down. What else? Footprints. Recent.
The tracks were recent, but not worn down in the right foot like Ruby's. It's best to omit this pesky little polemic for now. Too confusing.
That close, huh? How fortunate. I'll take a thorough look at those prints myself before I believe that call. Good news is, I'm still listening. Garbage. It wasn't a Sambo artist call. I've been doing this for 10 years. Let me give you a lesson.
It's never a Sambo fighter, and it's never a bullet-bending sniper.
Or ghost. It's never a ghost either. Don't worry, we've got better than that.
I've seen the winch. I'm not blind. You saying it's part of the elevator she used to get up there? That's wall mystery down then. An architectural mystery. Doesn't much concern Ruby, does it? Firmly doesn't go well with could've. There's a route to the roof. Me and the boys need to check it out. That's what we've established. But a route does not put that bullet in his head. A gun does that, and Ruby doesn't carry one.
Phase 2. Murder weapon. Get a gun in her hand. If not that, then at least a shadow of a doubt. In the shape of a gun. Just don't contradict yourself. If it doesn't sound like Ruby did it, maybe keep it to yourself. But what if you miss interesting information that way? The choice is ultimately yours. But
God damn, that's just about your favorite topic, isn't it? Every fucking 5 seconds. Trouble. This is Revachol. Even the roid heads in the gym had a carbine. No one has trouble getting a gun.
he must be referencing some past case of theirs. He's angry because he knows you're right. What he's saying only confirms your theory.
Yes, goddammit, I know what a 72% chance means.
Just making sure we are on the same page. It doesn't all fit. We are just sharing info, candidly.
All right, Carl. Keep talking. I'll tell you when I've had enough.
T, we're not seriously considering it, are we? Ruby wouldn't do this. Why would she do something like this?
Phase 3. Motive. The last component.
And I suppose you have a theory on that.
Think about it. Why go through all that effort? It was her idea, wasn't it? The hanging. You went along, but she suggested it.
She had, like, a fully formed plan and shit. Right when she came back downstairs.
Really, Shanks? Claudia wanted to talk to another girl, that's all. She was just the first one up there. I could have come up with that plan if I'd have been first.
Time for a logics demonstration. He scoffs.
Think. You kill him. Get up there. Shoot him. Get down.
The man is silent.
If she used us to cover her own shit up, well, that's a serious violation of the Hardie code, boss.
Which is why she didn't. She would never do that. Why aren't more of you defending her? This is fucking stupid, Titus.
Glenn, I thought the same thing when she skipped town and left us in this shit.
Oh, so he didn't rule her out completely. Silence. He looks around the room. The old man in the corner, a very small nod, and a trickle of tobacco spit on his lip. This is the only option he cares for.
Yeah, I see it. There's one more thing I've been wondering about, ever since you asked me where she is. Add it to your list of suspicions, if you want. I don't know where she went. She just got up and left. Got real scared, too. Wouldn't tell me where. However hard I asked. Want to know why? She was afraid I would tell you. Maybe she was right. By now, I probably would.
She knew there's evidence on her, and she knew we'd find it. This is typical suspect behavior, why fleeing is always incriminatory.
Perhaps. Ask her if you find her. It won't be easy, though. She made sure of that. Friday afternoon, when you first arrived, I got word the RCM was in town. Then she came in to see me. Told me she was leaving. That's when we had our little conversation. I told you. You. No, you. As in the cop with the sideburns and the disco clothes. Yeah, that's real funny. She wasn't laughing, though. You know, when I first saw you limping here, I thought she was paranoid or sniffing her own supply. But now I'm not so sure. She said you have a funny taste in clothes and that you won't stop until you have something on her. She said she's heard of you from Jamrock, that you're a human can opener, that you play suspects against each other, open them up like cans.
And then when they're all empty, just move on, onto the next can. Don't look back unless there was something you missed.
Fucking hell. Titus, did he just...
Open Angus up like a can? Yes, he did. Now, we can whine about it, whack him, or we can go on with our lives. I'm having a go on with our lives kind of day, Al. How about you?
It's not an actual question. Silence. He nods.
You are insistent.
Yeah, there was something else. She wouldn't tell me, though. I could see she wanted to. It was burning on her lips. This cop, Titus. This cop, he...
Scared. You should be, too. A strange fear creeps over you. A metallic taste in your mouth. Change the subject.
A little. On the coast.
Where have you looked for her, more precisely?
More precisely, on the coast, past the waterlog. She's not here, so I'm thinking she's there.
Who's doing this looking? They're all here.
Lizzie needed some air. No one goes to tell Everard anything. He knows what he has to know. Fast.
It's called a radio, you believe. The gardener may have played you a game when she stormed out. She has her own plan.
She's not far. We know that much. She didn't take her lorry, so she's on foot.
Good fucking luck, man. She knows this place like the back of her hand. You'll never find her.
Yeah, Al. And we won't either.
She's not really a Hardie candidate anymore, is she?
She's not, Glenn. Sure, there's some shit houses there. A cinderblock town. The fisherfolk there refuse to unionize. So, that's one place we haven't looked. I hear they have a shack where junkies sometimes crash. Time for you to step up.
We will start there. One more question. What does Ruby look like?
Boyish. Hair's red. Dyed. She looks like a lorry man. The what now? I have no idea. Boys?
She said she's building a pale emitter.
What?
We were talking about radio equipment. She said she's doing Ulan frequencies and a pale something. I don't know more.
This guy barely understands what he's talking about.
There you have it. Pale something. It'll have to.
His grip is firm and reassuring, like holding a piece of unpolished granite. Paintbrush? Check. Heavy fuel oil? Check. Now the only thing left to do is paint the wall. The paintbrush in your hand is like a loaded revolver. What will it be, Desperado? Quite a few things come to mind. You've spoken. The wall will now silently repeat the message for a decade or so, until the sea air degrades the paint, adding another layer of detritus to the city.
Very poetic. Real poetry. Should we return to our murder investigation? I hear there's a really bad one we are supposed to solve.
The spread pattern of these bullet holes makes your chest ache. More old bullet holes, half a century at least, from the revolution. You peer into the faded marks in the stone. They peer back like an endless row of tiny black holes. Your chest feels tight looking at them. It's closing in, caving in, ever tighter. Your breathing grows even heavier.
You okay there? You were looking pale there for a second. What are you looking at? Bullet holes generally look the same, so probably. But you're right. More old bullet holes from the revolution. Plenty.
The streets ran red with blood. Dust swirled above the ruins. The door is closed again. Nothing to do here anymore. You hear someone inside, walking from room to room. Whoever lives here must be back home. The door is... You hear...
Hello again, officers.
All around you, the hisses and chirps of locusts fill the musky air. The earthen floor of the shack has been shaped into mounds of mud, dotted with little holes for windows. Like skyscrapers, spires of dirt and sand rising. Accommodations for their insectoid inhabitants.
Well, detective, it appears you've solved the case of the locusts. For the missing locust case, which is a sub-case of the imaginary insect case. So at least that's going well. Oh, I'm not being sarcastic at all. We are making real progress here.
When someone says they're not being sarcastic, it's usually a good sign that they're being very sarcastic.
If anything, the presence of the locust points to the opposite. The Phasmid did not take the bait from the traps. It was Kuno. But what do I know?
Use your powers of deduction. You knew the magic bug was nowhere near here.
I'll let you handle the Kuno side of things. You are doing just fine.
Kuno saw you wield that can. Sweet graffito action, pig. Kuno likes that delinquent shit. Kuno's part is, you're just shit at life. Now what's your case with Kuno? Yeah? Kuno took the bugs, so what? It's not Bugtown. It's the city of locusts. Locusts aren't just bug shit. They come out of the sky like a fucking shadow. Shit descends.
Stop!
Locusts coming down like a shadow. This must be the night city he mentioned.
Yeah, Locust City. City of Rage. City of Lights.
There's a tug of war over the name of his fantastical city. The girl forces herself to watch again, the corners of her eyes twitching from discomfort. The lameness is causing her physical pain. The damage may be permanent.
Kuno, the pig wants to help you. Oh, that's how lame it is. Please just don't say you're
an artist. Maybe I am an artist. You hear that, everyone? I'm a fucking artist now.
Did he just say I? Kuno usually calls Kuno, Kuno.
Oh my god, Kuno! He's gonna make you totally lame in, like, 3 seconds. Don't let him, Kuno.
Yo, fuck you, see? Kuno can be what Kuno wants to be. Kuno's his own man. Kuno's free. Kuno made himself into Kuno. Kuno can make himself into anything. Kuno can make himself into a pig if he wants. Kuno can make himself into a... Kuno doesn't give a shit.
Don't make yourself into a pig, Kuno. You'll have to take me away.
In it, you hear snow melting, dripping from the eaves. Someone closing a window. Without a word, she disappears entirely behind the fence. For once, the boy is lost for words. He turns completely red now, with splotches of white beginning to appear across his face. Use this momentary confusion to take control of the situation. You got him. Now convince him to leave the cryptozoologist's traps alone.
I don't give a shit. I don't need the locusts anyway. Shit is all lame now. She was right.
The girl's face appears again, above the fence, just long enough to make eye contact with Kuno. She doesn't know whether to be glad because Kuno's finally convinced of the lameness, or more worried because of his continued use of the first person singular. Kuno is Kuno, not I.
It don't mean anything. It's shit. Kuno just likes to focus. Kuno likes to concentrate on shit. Build shit when he's zipping hard. Fuck. Pig, you really shouldn't have fucked with Kuno City. Now it's all fucking lame. Kuno's gonna let the fucking locusts die. The fuck are they trying to catch anyway? With the traps?
He recognizes the name.
Bitches think Kuno doesn't know shit. The fuck out of here. Kuno's tired of this shit.
There's silence between the two children. They're not saying anything to each other, nor looking in each other's direction.
Hello, officer. So it was just a child.
Thank you for telling us, sweetie. This is...
She acts chipper, but something's changed in her tone. A hidden worry. Something is secretly gnawing at her confidence. It's not this Kuno kid, or the missing locusts.
Yeah, you're right. We just need to restock the empty trap. Then we'll need to inspect the traps one more time. And then maybe we can.
He has a 38-degree fever.
Darling, I told you to take it easy. You're getting sick.
You're right, you're right.
That's just something people tell themselves when they fail.
We are getting really carried away with this, aren't we? Fine, it's better than having these people get pneumonia on the coast. But after this...
He wants to see this tale through, as much as you. Otherwise, he'd have stopped this already. But he cannot let it drag out.
Really? It's too much, officer.
What Morel means is we're grateful for your help.
Here's a fresh scratch of locusts. They should slide right down the funnel. And thank you again. We will definitely mention you, should this lead to a discovery. I'm not talking co-discovery, of course, but...
Wow. Co-discovery? You'd be famous. You'd show them all. This does tingle the pleasure center. This would show them all. We need to get you on that list of discoverers. No question about that. The precarious world. How not to lose. It is impossible not to. The world is balanced on the edge of a knife. It's a game of frayed nerves. You're pushed on by numbers and punitive measures, pain, rejection, and unpaid bills.
One brutal motor carriage.
If I were a real skull now, I'd jack it, paint it in palm tree livery, then bottom light it, neon style.
A snazzy shit-ripped skullmobile like this would make a fine trophy.
Yeah, tribal shit.
While I appreciate the interest you take in my brutal motor carriage, I have to stop you right there.
It's just theoretical work, Copper. No basis in reality.
Skulls. Now there's a strong organizational title.
I can tell you who we're not. Cop. We're not snitches.
Which is not to say that the skulls are bitches and on the contrary.
The part of this presentation you want to take home with you, Cop Man, is we're not part of the skulls. Yet.
Okay then. Let's indulge in some intellectual exchange.
You don't know? What kind of cop are you?
It's not a question. Don't get into it.
The Skulls are the most vicious gang of the Besmertne.
Besmertine, or the Besmati, the Immortals, are West River Sholian crime syndicates.
The nastiest bunch of psychos ever.
Possessing an infinite amount of fuck-all swagger, infamous for their non-verbal modus operandi.
They usually occupy the burnt-out quarter in Jamrock, or you can find them loitering around their brightly painted bottom-lighted vehicles.
I can't wait to become a skull. Bottom lights are wretched aggressive. Murder? Yeah, sure. We'll gladly tell you everything we know about it. It was a man.
Also, he was hanged. He was hanged from a tree.
Yeah, I mean... Duh.
These punks don't know anything. Let's just move along.
Hey! Stop right there! How does one know anything?
This sounds like epistemology. A field so occupied by thought that it begins to question thought itself.
Exactly. How can one know shit? For example, how can one be sure that there truly is a body hanging behind a hostel?
What if it's art? Or just a mere specter?
Maybe it's true. The hanged man is merely a prop in a performance. We are the audience, and the artist is hiding somewhere in the dark.
So what do you think we know? Oh yeah, Cindy's a right proper skull.
Yeah, a true artist of the future. Just like Arno van Eyck.
By the way, if you see Cindy, give her our regards.
For all their nihilistic posturing, These young men are not lacking in youthful idealism. The lieutenant on your left is unusually lenient toward them.
Oh man, yeah. We're not fucking kids, man.
Be wary of the abyss.
It's a threat. An impotent threat of violence. But I don't. In fact, I dislike them so much I'm willing to drag you boys back to the station just to calm myself down.
Hey, there's no need for that. We're just talking here. Joking too.
Yeah. Didn't you cops, have some questions about skulls or some shit?
The Union does their share of policing in Martinez, at least where gangs are concerned. That's why there isn't much organized crime around here.
Apart from the unions themselves, of course.
Don't you worry about that.
Yeah, we are. We're not franchise skulls. Well, not yet. Once we get our name out there, we'll have a chance to join them. Because we can be just as psycho and vicious.
But in a non-threatening and definitely legal way.
We'll fuck the system from the inside later. Just be cool now.
Right on, fuck. So what's happening now? What about them? Well, first off, it's a statement and not necessarily something that characterizes me as a person, even though the statement has character. And I do like piss. The word piss epitomizes the struggle taking place in the world. Things being defined as they seem, not as they are. And, I guess, it's also about communal spirit, the future, and truly appreciating our differences. Also, you've got to admit, it catches the eye. And since the Grand Piper is slowly but steadily moving towards basing the economy on it, attention, it is imperative that the medium itself convey the message. What I mean by this is, we are all piss and that the world is inherently meaningless.
It seems that the young man has a certain expertise in at least one field, even if it's rather narrow.
Like I said before, many men keep searching for the one, for so-called true love, which is actually just obsession masquerading as kinship. The thrill of the chase, the hollowness that fills your chest cavity after catching it.
I'm wondering if the poetics come with the jacket, or are they derived from something else entirely?
To catch a fish, you'll need to hurl the lure many times, and even then it isn't certain that you'll get anything. If you blow up the lake, though, you get more fish in a shorter time. And, for time is of the essence and fleeting ever so quickly, one must think of a way to fuck the whole world and not get caught up in fucking someone. Because when one fucks everything, he fucks nothing. And that, to me, feels glorious. Sticking your dick into the void.
Hate to admit it, but in a weird way, he's got a point. Is it a coincidence that here we have two badass jackets and two badass cops?
Yes? What is? What are you implying? I'm not sure I understand you, Detective. Neither. Fine, if only to end this discussion. Theoretically, if I were a juvenile delinquent, if I were to already be down that path, I think peace is the stronger of the two statements. Seems about right, especially considering your heroic exit attempts.
That's an origin story for a dynamic duo right there.
So are we done here? Or you don't need us around for your secret whisper party, do you?
Inside, you see a set of steering levers, a radio microphone.
This is Precinct 57. How may I assist you? One moment. Can you please describe the body?
We suspect he might have been inebriated when he fell. There were bottles all around him, and traces of vomit on his shirt.
Any signs of violence? No field autopsy necessary.
You can hear her quickly typing in the background.
What about his belongings? Did you examine his clothes? Any information on the library card? Good. You have a lead. Do you and Lieutenant Kitsuragi want to take the case, or should I assign it to someone else? I have assigned the case to Lieutenant Kitsuragi. Please follow up on this library lead to identify the man. We'll send someone to take the body to the morgue. That's all for now. Thank you for reporting in. Is there anything else I can do for you? Hold on, officer. I've got Central Jamrock Public Library on the line, and I've already introduced you to their librarian. Connecting the call in 2, 1.
Yes, this is Central Jamrock Public Library here. How can I help you, officer?
He sounds worried, yet ready to assist.
Billy Majon, you said. Give me a moment, I'll have to check our database.
On Moreau Drive in central Jamrock, in a darkened hall lit by orange desk lamps.
Yes, hello, are you still there? I found Billy Majon's home address, is that alright? No phone number, unfortunately.
They're too poor to have a phone line.
Here we go, sir. Rue de Saint-Ghislain, 33B, apartment number 20. It's in Martinez, I believe.
That's where the smoker on the balcony lives, isn't it?
It says here that they returned their last book just a few days ago, but I wasn't at work that day. Marie? Marie? Do you remember a reader named Billy Majon? They returned a Tybalt book the other day. Yes, it was my colleague Marie. She said that it was Billy's husband who returned the book. He also asked for this new sci-fi release, Lowe's Radio City 87, but we don't have it yet.
Good. You have a name now.
Marie knows Billy. She's been working here longer than me. Sometimes her husband returns some books for her.
And then goes for a little drink later.
Sorry, no. Marie only knows him by sight. Marie! She said it was an older man, and that she's pretty sure he'd had a drink or two the last time she saw him. 1 second. Sorry, Marie wasn't really paying any attention to that. Happy we could help. Goodbye, officer.
Anything else you need from me? 57th, over and out.
In the cabin, you see a set of steering levers. You hear someone walking around inside. You hear a poor communal.
Do you have a...
Let's go.
It's generally easy.
Give me a moment. It's about Victor, isn't it? It's always about Victor with her. You'll find the Maisons in apartment 20 upstairs. It's one of those doors on the balcony.
A weathered brown door. Something smells good. The lieutenant motions to you to go ahead and knock. Get yourself together. It's just police work.
You're right. Let's talk this through.
You hear light footsteps passing by the door.
We have our first preliminary identification. In all likelihood, the deceased is the husband of Billy Majon. We need to confirm this, as well as deliver the death notification to Billy herself. Now, delivering a death notification is never an easy task. There's a reason why it's often called the most stressful part of our job. This is why it's usually done in pairs. You got this. I'll be monitoring reactions, ready to act if necessary. Dead? Just don't say that you know how they feel. You don't.
Good advice.
Yes, it's hard. But there is no easy way to handle this information. It just has to happen.
The lieutenant motions towards the door.
Hello? Who is it?
And someone turns down the radio.
The police. A moment, please give us a moment.
Tidying up. Nervously. There's fear in her voice.
Come in, the door is open.
It's you from the bookstand. Did you come to bring my cockatoo back? I don't think I introduced myself properly. I'm Billy. Would you like something to drink? Tea? Lemonade? We're out of coffee.
The lieutenant has taken off his foggy glasses and is busy cleaning them in his handkerchief. He must feel vulnerable without his glasses. Is this why he's letting you take the lead?
Is this about Victor, my husband? Is he in some kind of trouble again? I can come pick him up in the station if that's what.
Keep it together. You don't want your body language to tell her the news.
Sorry, I'm rambling. It's just that Victor often gets into all kinds of trouble. So, how can I help you?
How about some small talk before you break the news? It's like ripping off a bandage. The least painful way is to do it straight away, without stalling.
How have I been? You're not here to discuss me. What is this about, officer?
Can't write a scene without knowing the actors. Ask more. Get comfortable around her.
People got to eat. What is this about? Why are you suddenly asking me about my cooking? It's me, Victor, and the kids here. We have 2 daughters, Jenny and Jolie. The girls are staying at their friend's place tonight. And Victor is out.
She swallows visibly.
He has a problem with drinking, and so he disappears every now and then. He's probably in the box drinking with his friends. I sent him to the library a few days ago, but I guess something came up. No, I guess I'll find out when he decides to come back home. It shouldn't be long from now. He's never gone for more than a few days. Oh, it's in Jamrock. The one at Mayrow Street. I don't know the official name.
Central Jamrock Public Library?
I think, yes, if that's the one on Mayrow.
It is.
Just to return a book of mine? Why? Why all those questions, Detective? Did he...
Do something? Break something? It's a fool's hope.
Yes. His old leather jacket. It's just your average brown leather jacket, but he bought it as a teenager, so... Yes. The lining is hand-sewn. It's blue. I tried to make the thing more weatherproof since he's running around with it in the middle of winter.
She folds her hands across her chest. Here it comes. She looks up, too anxious to say anything. I don't want to. She looks up, too anxious. You've done this before. Just keep your focus. Yes, that's the most important thing. No euphemisms. This is what you came here for.
What did you say?
A great and terrible spike. The blood freezes in her veins.
Oh. Oh. But he was just...
But he was just here, alive.
We understand this comes as a huge shock. I want you to know that me and my partner are here for you if you have any questions. Take your time, ma'am.
What happened to him? Was he drunk? I see. And you just found him there, lying in the cold. How long had he been there?
If you say 2 days maybe, it will be etched in her mind forever. She blinks, eyes welling up with tears, as her hand starts searching for something from the pockets of her dress.
Here.
No. I just need to tell my girls.
It burns like acid, unreal.
God, should I call them? Should I tell them to come home?
No. A day.
Good. That's probably the right thing. Thank you. Just tell me, what do I need to do next? Where is he? Can I see him?
We've taken him to the city morgue. The local coroner will be contacting you shortly to arrange the funeral. Here's his number in case you want to contact him earlier.
A very good call.
Is there anything else that the RCM could do for you?
No, I'll call you if something comes up. I'm still... Thank you. Thank you for telling me. I'll call if...
These are her last reserves of strength. Her muscles will give in soon. Already, she starts to shake.
We should step outside and talk. You did well. You did enough. Can save the whole world, you know.
Can't bring the dead back.
I'll call the station when we're finished with the day and let them know the name of the deceased. They'll manage.
They have to. It's not your place to live their lives.
That's it. We should get back to our case now that our duty here is done. Let's go.